Hey, what is up guys? So I'm back from my hiatus and this is ReaperCast episode 7 I believe, I'm not too sure. But it doesn't really matter, it's another episode of ReaperCast and I figured this would be a good time for me to actually catch up with you guys on a few different things and just telling you about the whole situation I was actually in. So basically during the time that I was on hiatus, I was pretty much undergoing all my exams and submitting all my final assessments, so it did take a while and I gotta say it's one of the most stressful semesters I've actually had. So because of that I did end up taking quite a bit of time and I had to, I guess, take up full focus onto those particular assessments, but I'm finally done now, so I'm very glad about that. So very happy to actually be getting back into making videos again, definitely very fun indeed. I do realize that I've actually missed out on quite a bit of things, so I will try my best to catch up on what's actually happening around here. But of course, let's just actually move on to a very small topic I wanted to actually cover, and that was actually the fact that Buddyfight actually ended. This was definitely quite a sad moment for the whole TCG community, not just for the Buddyfight community. Reason why is because, well, Buddyfight is one of those big games. I mean, everyone recognizes Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic or Vanguard, and of course Pokemon as well. But I would say that right after that, Buddyfight is quite a prominent game, and it's one of those big gateways for a lot of people to actually get into the whole TCG realm or the TCG world. So seeing that one of those major gateways have actually closed, it's quite sad to see, because this means that there are less chances for more people to actually get into the whole TCG community. And you know, it's quite nice because with all these different card games out there, you want to have as many as possible because they act as a gateway for more people to actually get into the whole TCG realm or the whole hobby. And by doing so, you know, I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, and that helped me actually explore or find out about Magic, Pokemon, Vanguard, and of course Buddyfight. So you know, it's connecting all of us together as a whole TCG community, and seeing that just one of those games, one of the major games actually, has just completely been discontinued or is about to be discontinued is definitely something that is going to be a big loss for TCGs in general. So yeah, I just wanted to actually point that out, that even though I don't actually engage in Buddyfight, it is definitely one of those games that were really impactful towards the whole TCG realm, and yeah, it's definitely unfortunate to see that go. Now with that being said, there is also a bit of the whole quarantine issues actually going on again. So you know, at a certain point in time they actually kind of, I guess, brought back or took away some of the restrictions. So it wasn't that bad, but we're actually starting to experience the whole restrictions again, simply because all of a sudden in the past few weeks there have been a few spikes all around the world, or at least in major cities around the world, and because of that, I think a lot of these quarantine restrictions have been reinstated, so we're back down to only 5 guests per house or something like that, and definitely a few more restrictions have been implemented to decrease the number of victims of this particular pandemic as well. So yeah, definitely something that you gotta, I guess people didn't really take this into serious consideration. Just because they took away some of the restrictions does not mean the pandemic is over, so it is still necessary to always wear your masks or always wash your hands, always use sanitizers, still maintain the social distancing. It doesn't mean that you can roam freely about, and I think a lot of people took that lightheartedly, and as a result we ended up getting certain cases actually spiking again, which is definitely very unfortunate. So yeah, please be careful, guys. It is definitely not a situation that we want to escalate from this point onwards. So yeah, but that being said, it is kind of sad to see that the result of this has led to our stores or card shops actually closing up again. They were open for a few weeks and we got a bit too excited, but it's quite unfortunate to see that all these card stores have actually announced their closure again. So that's definitely going to be very unfortunate for all TCGs, like I said from before. So that's definitely quite unfortunate indeed. However, now let's actually get into more of the Yu-Gi-Oh things now, but actually there is one thing I wanted to quickly mention, and that is the fact that I've actually kind of learnt a few new things during my times submitting my assessments, because during that time I was actually able to, I guess, develop some new video editing skills, as you guys can actually see here. New techniques that I've actually implemented in this particular channel, and I will continue to do so in further videos as well. So yeah, basically one of my assessments required me to actually make a video which was, I guess, to a really high standard, and I tried out a few new techniques that definitely would improve the quality of my videos. So hopefully you guys actually do notice this in these videos and everything that's upcoming as well. I try not to actually stick to the still images, because I realize that it's definitely going to be very boring for you guys to just look at still images. So I try to just spice it up a bit by adding on some more I guess animated stuff, just to see if it actually works out or not. And of course I am still trying to develop and improve from this point onwards as well. So some things will obviously sound or seem a bit off at first, but as I start getting used to these editing, implementing all these techniques, then it will definitely make the videos a lot more better. So yeah, that's pretty much something that I just wanted to cover there. So I hope you guys actually enjoy the quality of the videos that will be changing. Of course, it will take more time for me to actually edit these videos, so that will mean that it's less likely for me to upload a lot of videos all at once, simply because the editing will take a bit more time, a bit more effort. And because of that, it's not always that I can put out a lot of videos at once. But yeah, it definitely is a good trade-off, given that the quality of videos will definitely improve. But that being said, we have a lot of different things to cover, so let's just get started right away. So firstly, we actually have some concept artwork for Charmers, definitely very nice here. We get to see a small bit of the playmat. Quite unfortunate knowing that we're actually going to get a paper playmat. I wish that they could actually give us a rubber playmat that we could actually just purchase in addition to the deck itself. That would be very nice. But aside from that, I am very excited about this particular structure deck. A lot of great reprints, a lot of new printings that are definitely very exciting. Especially the tokens, so when that comes out, I'll definitely be buying those decks. Moving on, we also have Blazing Vortex, which is a new set that will be announced. It's part of the core series of sets as well. I think it's the one after Rise of the Duelist, so definitely going to be very exciting. October 31st. I'm actually having a guess here that it's going to be Halloween themed, but as for now, we can only speculate, given that no other information has actually been released. Aside from that, we also have the special set Genesis Impactors. A lot of the artwork for the cover cards have been, I guess, shown right here, and they definitely look very nice. So we can actually see here Varum, the dragon deity of the Absolute Flame, looks absolutely amazing, of course. Very nice artwork, definitely something that far exceeds any of our expectations for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I mean that in no offense, obviously. We also have here Evil Twins, Kissy Kill, and Lila. Definitely loving that artwork there, looks really amazing. Kind of reminds me of a particular artwork, I don't know, I think it was the Ventriloquist Link. Yeah, it has some kind of similarities there. And lastly, we have Dra, or Drytumek Meteonis. So this particular artwork is a bit more obscure, definitely something that can't really picture out there, but if you focus really hard you could see that it's some kind of humanoid mecha dragon of some sort, so definitely quite interesting there. But yeah, this is definitely something that, you know, obviously it's one of those special sets, so 3 new archetypes, looking forward to it, and yeah, this will definitely be very fun indeed. Moving on here, we have another thing over here to consider. These are actually so-called Chinese cards. I guess they were released only in China at the time, but they are actually kind of bringing it here into the TCG. So we're going to go over a few of these new cards, given that we know that they're going to be coming into the TCG now. So the first card here we have is Datascape Lady Rui. Level 3 Wind, Psychic Tuner, Effect Monster, Attack 1600, Defense 600. So each of these cards effects can only be used once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you could target one Datascape card you control. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except level 3 or rank 3 or higher monsters. Also send one Datascape card that is a different card type, monster, spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do special summon this card, then you can add one Datascape card that has a different card type from the target and the card sent to the graveyard from your deck to your hand. Definitely very interesting indeed. I'm surprised that it is a Psychic. When they say Datascape, I was kind of expecting it to be Cyverse, but I guess Psychic is not too far off. I don't know. I kind of feel like it would be better off if it was Cyverse, but then again, it had the genericism to actually be implemented in Cyverse decks. I think that would be a bit too strong depending on how things might be played out. But moving on, we have Datascape Servant Lao Lao, level 6 Wind, Psychic Tuner, Effect Monster, 0 attack, 2400 defense. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Datascape card you control. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except, okay, so it's very interesting, just anything level 3 or rank 3 higher. Also, send one Datascape card that is a different card type, monster, spell, trap, from your deck to your graveyard. If you do special summon this card and then special summon one graveyard, one Datascape monster from your graveyard with a different name than the card you sent to the graveyard in defense, but its effects are negated. So as we can see here, there is a common effect with all of them, with one additional effect here. So good to see that. It's a bit of a consistency thing that I like. I don't want them to have all these random effects. Next we have here Datascape Ji or Gigi, Earth Worm type, so I guess it's more of like a pet for the Psychics. 1000 attack, 1600 defense, level 3. If this card's in your hand, target the Datascape you control, cannot special summon monsters, let's see, so on and forth. But also send a Datascape card with a different card from your name. If you do special summon this card during the end phase of the turn, you can add a Datascape monster from your graveyard to your hand, except itself. So that's one of the, I guess, rare ones. So definitely very nice there. Moving on here, we have Datascape Chillin or Killin or Linlin, level 6 Earthworm effect monster, 600 defense, 1800 attack. Let's see, so its main effect in this one is, let's see, send a Datascape card from that is a different card type from the target and sent to the graveyard from the deck to the graveyard. So I guess it's like a Foolish Burial. Definitely very nice there. So a good variety of different card effects. But on to the boss monsters, we have Datascape Fox or Xian Xian. Level 9 Wind Synchro Psychic Effect Monster, 2800 attack, 2400 defense. It's a tuner, it requires a tuner and a non-tuner, so it's generic. Second and third effects can only be used once per turn, so any card sent to the graveyard from the field is banished instead. That's very nice. It's a walking D-prison. When a monster you control declares an attack, you can return one of either player's banished monsters to the graveyard. I mean, I'm assuming we're returning our own, but if the purpose is suited, then maybe your opponent's. Third effect, during your main phase, except during the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish 2 other monsters with different original types and attributes from your graveyard and special summon this card from your graveyard. I like that third effect, definitely very nice, and yeah, it's only once per turn, but it also means that this is kind of a one-off for the deck, given that it could just keep bringing itself back, so it's definitely very nice. Moving on, we have here Datascape Shell yugioh. Rank 3 Earthworm Xyz effect monster, 1000 attack, 2400 defense. 2+ level 3 monsters as materials. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, target 1 face-up monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of your opponent's turn. I wish that was during either player's turn, but unfortunately it's not. So I'm a bit iffy about that. Second effect, once per turn during damage calculation, if this card battled an opponent's monsters, and there are 2 or more monsters with the same original type and attribute in your graveyard, you can banish that opponent's monsters. Okay, that's a little bit better, but even so, this one's a bit more lackluster. So hopefully the next Xyz monster is a little bit better. We have over here Datascape Phoenix Fang. Rank 6 Earthworm Xyz effect monster, 2600 attack, 2000 defense, requires 2+ level 6 monsters. So second effect can only be used once per turn. So for the first effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and 1 card in either graveyard and banish them. Now keep in mind that's... oh wait, well that is actually once per turn. Okay, never mind. It says once per turn, though if you have multiples of this on the field, then you can activate all of them, so that's pretty nice. Second effect, if this Xyz summoned card is destroyed by an opponent's attacking monster's attack, or an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 2 Datascape monsters with the same original type and attribute from your deck. So not only will it actually get rid of something on the field, but it can also recur or float, which I think is pretty insane. That's definitely a very nice boss monster indeed. Alright, so on to the spells which are to support here. We have a normal spell, Datascape Capital yugioh. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. So place 1 Datascape Gate card directly from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone, then apply the following effects in sequence based on how many Datascape Gate cards you control. Okay, so yeah, if you have 2 of them, 2 or more, then Datascape monsters you control gain 200 attack for the rest of this turn. That's not too amazing. Third effect, well, next effect is 3 or more, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and 4 cards, special summon up to 4 Datascape monsters with different names from your extra deck. That's pretty crazy, from your extra deck as well. I mean, yeah, it's not a proper summon, but even so, to special summon 4 Datascape monsters with different names from your extra deck, I can already see really crazy stuff going on with this. I mean, you could bring out all the Xyz monsters and then use like rank up magics to go into all these crazy big Xyz beat sticks that are just going to OTK your opponent. I mean, this card could actually be one of the most broken cards to actually be introduced into the format. So yeah, quite a lot of potential with this particular card. On to the next card, we have Datascape Gate Qinglong, so continuous spell card. Let's see, first and second effects only once per turn. So first effect, you can banish 1 Datascape card from your graveyard, target a face-up monster on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard and add a Datascape monster from your deck to your hand, then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. I really like that. That's definitely a nice, I guess, flotation effect or flotation mechanic that definitely supplements the deck quite well. And with these cards alone, it's already driving up the potential of this particular deck when it comes to further support to come out. So moving on, we actually have our final card here, which is a continuous trap card, Datascape Gate Chukyu. First and second effects can only be used once per turn. First effect, you can target one face-up card on the field, shuffle 2 of your banished Datascape cards with different names in your deck, then destroy the targets. Second effect, during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Datascape monster you control, and have it either gain or lose 3 levels / ranks. That is going to be very powerful indeed, because gaining the 3 ranks, that could also help with the whole rank up magic. I really like this deck, and I feel like this deck could actually get its own rank up magic as well. I don't know if Konami will actually focus on this, but it definitely drives the potential up like crazy, and I definitely like this deck. It doesn't seem to have its own thing, if you know what I mean. Like, it has the rank 6 XCs, which I guess is okay as a boss monster, but aside from that, the deck doesn't really have a main win condition. It's more of a nice utility deck. It kind of reminds me of, what's that particular archetype? It's the one with time? I don't know, it's been a long time since I actually, like, got into the game, so I can't remember, but it's the time deck. Whatever you guys remember, it's that one. I'll put up an image to actually show what I mean by that, but it kind of reminds me of that deck. It's kind of like a utility deck, and you throw in a few of the rank up magics and you can definitely make something quite broken here. Last but not least, I actually wanted to just cover up these particular playmats that we're actually getting for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Circuit 2020. It actually is featuring Dark Magician Girl on, I guess, the Eye of Timaeus, so definitely very nice. This is a great mat. Yeah, it's just very nice here. Yeah, I think I'll cap off the video from this point on, simply because I do have no idea whatsoever about how the editing will actually come out, so I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular video. I definitely look forward to a lot of more videos to come. I will actually have to make the ranking the GX characters tier list, so that will be coming soon. I will be making that. That's long overdue. I've got so many deck profiles, DDDs, I have a few updates to it, and of course the combo video, I still have to make that as well. So definitely a lot of videos that it should have come out a long time ago, so definitely a lot to stay forward to. Yeah, that's pretty much it here. It's been a while since I actually last recorded a video, so I do sound a bit off in this particular video here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a lot to look forward to now from this point on, because quarantines are definitely going to be getting a bit more serious here as well. But of course, if you guys need any kind of communication of some sort, then feel free to just contact me on Twitter or on Facebook. I have the links down in the description down below. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.